That's all I got. Tell us what happened to your. Tell us about your YouTube channel. What happened to your YouTube channel?
What happened to your job? What happened to your job? How can you have a job? Get a job. Take a care. How can you have a job? Get a job.
Comments at that for those of you who wish to speak. Get ready to start. Better hurry.
I know.
Right now, public comment is time set aside for the council to hear from members of the public. Thank you very much. Regarding matters that are within the jurisdiction of the council but are not listed on the agenda. Under the provisions of the Brown Act, public comment is limited to only those matters over which the council has jurisdiction and does not include any. Present your views to the council in a forthright and productive manner. So the council may take views into account as deliberations and decisions on city matters. If you have comments on a specific agenda item, the request to speak form needs to be turned in to the city clerk before the item is called. Each speaker may be allotted 3 minutes or no more than 30 minutes total. We'll see how that's going before we make a decision to cut off public comments on our agenda item. Pursuant to City Council public policy, public comments will be heard at the beginning of the meeting for 30 minutes. Any remaining speakers will be heard at the end of the meeting. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, do we have any public comments?
We do. We'll start with Donna Marsh Perry, followed by Kathy Slick.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Donna Marsh Perry, and I'm the Community Service Commissioner from the City of Preston, as well as the immediate past president of the Council and the Association of Parks and Rec Commissioners and Board Members. Such a title on that one. Mission Viejo has long been a supporter of what we call CAPR-CDM. Our goal is to strengthen the effectiveness of Parks and Rec Commissioners to better serve your communities. We provide opportunities for us to get together, to begin personal and professional relationships and exchange ideas, and to better serve you. And again, as Grant Boss once said to us, we're commissioners helping commissioners serve you. I'd like to thank Director Mark Nix for hosting the gathering of commissioners recently. We had 7 commissioners, or 7 cities represented in our gathering to help again foster those relationships. Last week at our annual banquet, it was basically the Mission Viejo show. You had 2 stars that I wanted to at least acknowledge to you this evening. Our first award was given to Grant Boss as our Commissioner of the Year. Grant jumped on board at 2015 and he's soared ever since. I could spend my entire allotted time talking to you about what Grant has done, but in addition to being a commissioner, Grant has served on ad hoc committees for grant funding, cultural services, wall of recognition, chess programs, art programs, and philanthropy. He was actually selected this award not only for what he does as commission, but because of his leadership, his involvement, his enthusiasm, his diligence, and his work ethic in promoting parks and recreation and the city of Mission Viejo. We look forward to many, many more years working with Grant. The second star of the evening was Ron Roof. Our association was founded in 1968, and Ron is the recipient of our first ever Lifetime Achievement Award. In addition to serving your commission, Ron also, and I understand he's away this evening, but in addition to serving you, he's also served on the city of Long Beach. And he's truly instrumental in the success that we've had as a commission and board member throughout the state of California. He's worked as a leader, counselor, and mentor throughout everyone, and I'm very proud to call Ron a friend. He's truly an asset, and we've decided to keep him, so I'm not getting rid of him. But again, I just wanted to come before you this evening and express my sincere thanks to you as a council for supporting your commissioners, as well as my commission, and as well as to Grant, Mark Nix, and Ron Roof. We appreciate what you do so very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like all the city council members to join me down below so we can honor Grant as well. Go on over here, young man. And needless to say, the city is very proud of both Ron and Grant and the work that they've done, and the recognition that is so deserved on their part. And the city is a certificate of resignation and retribution. To Grant Boss, who's going to speak for an hour on each of those. For being recognized as an outstanding Commissioner of the Year by the California Association of Parks and Recreation Commissioners and Board Members at their annual banquet. Congratulations, Grant. Thank you for representing us.
Cheese.
I just want to thank you all for allowing me to be a public servant for the city I love and parks make life better. Thank you.
Yay!
And the same certificate for Mr. Lucas available for him as well. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, behind you. Awesome.
Kathy Schlick, followed by Michael Royster. I was good.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Kathy Schlicht of Mission Viejo. We have an admission that the city of Mission Viejo is in violation of the California Voters' Right Act. We have an admission that Mayor Sachs, that his March 10 newsletter was a joke. We have a news article that notes that, and quote, Attorney Kevin Shankman filed a suit within days of learning of the mayor's circulated in online newsletter, which said the city was safe from a district-based lawsuit. And on March 22, the law firm of Shankman and Hughes filed a complaint against the city for its violation of the California Voting Act. I have it in my material.
Michael, followed by Ryan Barcy.
Hello, my name is Michael Rocher, and I'm a Mission Viejo resident. Ladies and gentlemen, last meeting, once again, I came away appalled at the level of purposeful misinformation spewed forth during public comments. To anyone who's been attending or watching from home and paying attention and witnessing
no, I can get one.
The allegations asserted by one resident in particular
seem
seem laughable at best and potentially dangerous, seemingly motivated by some combination of sour grapes and political ambition. Now, the members of this council are no more perfect than I, and I'm not, and I disagree with you on some issues, but political views aside, someone needs to speak the truth. No speakers have been prevented from speaking. I have heard no microphones cut off, and speakers were only occasionally interrupted for purposes of decorum or exceeding established time limits. The assertion that the council's actions on districting have left the city vulnerable to a lawsuit are contradicted by the facts presented immediately prior to that statement. Charges that the council voted as they did only to protect their elected positions seems to exhibit a very transparent hidden agenda and is not supported by the exhaustive demographic studies conducted that clearly show districting would not in any way alleviate perceived problem. As such, this accusation properly belongs in the dustbin of outrageous conspiracy theories, along with Pizzagate and the fake moon landing. Using the same high standards of observation, deduction, and innuendo exhibited in these public comments, I have concluded that the most likely original source for this disturbing preponderance of fake news can only be one thing: Russian meddling. A Russian mole supports an unnecessary and disruptive change in the electoral process, thereby freeing up several council seats, thus allowing said mole to fill one vacant post and voila, a Putin operative in the position of authority in our hallowed halls. In my extensive research to uncover the truth, I have personally interviewed every Russian prostitute and one star.
Yes.
This
guy must be a troll. This guy's a troll.
Pertinent to the case. But I shall not be deterred. The citizens of Mission Viejo will not tolerate the eating of borscht or the singing of worship
Yes.
any more than they would tolerate the lies
Or Stormy Daniel videos.
of the political opportunists. Thank you.
Bravo.
Botox in
I
her.
will advise you that
There's a lot of Botox in
my
her.
grandparents on my mother's side were Russian.
I'm Russian too.
Nothing wrong with that.
Russian, German, American, Persian. Ryan, sorry.
Well, by Bella DeGeneron.
I brought my timer this time. We have 3 minutes from the nobody. Hi, my name is Ryan Farsi. I'm one of the property owners at 25122 Marguerite Parkway, right across the street, the Anthony's Arco. And I've been in ongoing discussions with the city manager, Mr. Woodward, city attorney, Mr. Cody III, and the city planning director, and the various mayors that have come and gone, and currently Honorable Mayor Sachs and Honorable Council members. On March 8th, 2016, I did win an appeal, 3-2, to get a beer and wine and liquor license at our store, as is. Unfortunately, the city planning director and the planning department and manager enforced some other restrictions on me, which was not part of the democratic process, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go, sir.
Okay, thanks.
We're here to seek the truth in the democratic process. 3 of the members that are sitting on the Honorable Council today are up for re-election. They actually voted for my appeal. They voted 3-2, God bless them. Unfortunately, they have not stepped up for me for the last 2 years, as I'm seeking justice. I have love, understanding, compassion, and forgiveness for the city of Mission Viejo. By the way, it's your birthday coming up in a few days. Happy birthday, Mission Viejo.
Yay.
I believe that
I'm older than Mission Viejo.
March 31st,
I'm older than Mission Viejo.
So you're coming up on 30 years. Happy birthday, Mission Viejo.
How old?
So
30.
the Christians and the Catholics have Lent and Easter. The Jewish and the Hebrews have Passover and Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
The Muslims have Ramadan. These are times when actually supposed to be peaceful.
When they blow things
I
up.
operate in peace all the time. I don't need to fight. Most fights that I get in are not very good ending, and I get in trouble. So I choose not to fight anymore. I want to find a peaceful resolution. So far, I've come to the council, I've gone to the city attorneys, I've gone to the sheriff's department, I've written to the governor of California several times.
Good luck
since
with
April
that.
2013. He's not responded back to me, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'm a nobody, I only got 3 minutes up here. But the governor of California just raised your sales tax on your gallons from 40 cents to 52 cents on a gas station market.
Yep.
So he's raping you. That's my opinion. This is America. I'm sharing it with you. You're paying a lot of taxes. You've been talking about sanctuary cities. But what's really happening is we're paying a lot of taxes. And I'm leaving. I'm now an Oregonian. I don't want to pay 13.2% to Governor Brown. I want to pay 9% to Governor Brown of Oregon.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay sales tax 10% to spend my money in the state anymore. I'll be here 5 months. I'll be there 6 months and 10 days. I'll be in Mexico 2 weeks and 5 days.
He's taking off, folks.
Thank you very much.
He's moving to Oregon, but Oregon sucks too. But not as much as California. Let's fight for California.
Ella,
May break away from the union.
Jeez.
followed by Crystal J.
Oh, brother, I know.
Yeah, Congress will support.
And then they'll reinstate slavery.
Now, could you speak, can you give us your names? Full names?
Ella DeGirolamo.
Thank you.
California's a city,
I'm Ella DeGirolamo, and I'm here regarding Sanctuary City. I am 10 years old and almost 11-year-old resident of this great city of Mission Viejo. This city and our country have a rule of law. These laws are meant to be followed and enforced. I do not understand how illegal immigrants can have more rights than tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. I would not feel safe if Mission Viejo were to become a sanctuary city.
Never.
it would not be only unconstitutional but foolish.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah! Yeah! All right! Beautiful! Way to go! So how does this work? There's only one public comment and we speak at this time?
Naru, you have to pronounce your last name.
There's only one public comment then? Is that it?
No.
Mr. Jake, I'm a resident of Viejo. Like many other immigrants, we came here through a very difficult time and a long process, plus a lot of money to get our documents right. So it is so easy to be an illegal and can be defended by $10 million set aside by Jerry Brown to fight for my legal fees. I should have just hopped over the wall. That I will be safe in Century City. So for me and thousands and millions like me who work our way to be part of this great country, don't you think it's so unfair? Now,
Yes, it is unfair.
for a check from Jerry Brown, you know, to reimburse me for the legal fees that I have to pay.
Yeah.
You know?
Reparations.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
So it's just the rules of law. If you step outside the United States of America, all the countries of the world look in at America as a great country.
Yes.
Who wants to come here? Everyone wants to come here. What is in America? The freedom of speech, the right to bear arms.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah!
Tell me which country
Wow, I love it
in the
here.
world
I'm moving
has
here.
the right to bear arms.
I'm not surprised.
That's why we are here.
Great group is not about.
We're going to end up like during the Holocaust. They round us up, put us onto a train to nowhere. That's why we are here to protect our freedom. Only in America that freedom is given to a human being like us. But we come here legally.
Yes.
Every one of us should follow the law.
That's right.
Our country has law. Go to, you try crossing into North Korea. That's no joke. Look at what happened in Cambodia. Look at Pol Pot.
Yes.
Yep, Pol Pot.
This very recent history. And why everybody wants to be this. Look at the Vietnamese.
Yes.
Every time you vote, sacrifice their lives. They are for the boat people, not for fun, but because they are escaping communism. And here we are, you know, trying to do what they're escaping. Then why should they escape? So I am here as an immigrant, speaking for a lot of immigrants, that we feel that it is really, really unfair and disservice for all of us who come to this country doing the right things, doing the right way. If this city and this state want to protect the immigrants, I think all of us should just go out and hop back again.
Yeah! Yeah! USA! 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 Hey.
Pronounce your last name.
Hi, my name is Naru.
No, it ain't.
No, Robert Hernandez. He's a liar.
He's back. First of all, sir, just give me a chance here. Clock hasn't started yet. To everyone in the audience, we have to have decorum for every speaker and every talker that comes up for public comments. Those of you who have signed,
Hold still.
want to raise them over your head, I invite you to go to the back row so that you're not blocking the view of the people behind you. That's the only proper etiquette to do that sort of thing. And you may now start, and then.
Young. He's an
The
old man.
lady that was here before me was talking about all these atrocities that happened around the world, Cambodia and other, in North Korea. But let's talk about the genocide that was committed here. There's a reason why everybody here is white when you're in the city council meeting.
Oh!
Racist! Excuse me. If we don't have.
You don't look
quorum,
white.
I'm gonna ask the sergeant at arms to get those folks out of here who don't respect the rights of everyone under our First Amendment speech.
All right. Respect that First Amendment.
Please continue, sir.
Okay, I'll really give a few minutes back again. Again, there's a reason why everybody here is white. There was a genocide that was committed here in Orange County with the Hachiman people. The Hachiman people are the original people from Orange County, and they're not even federally recognized. You guys like to talk about illegals. Let's talk about when illegal immigration started. It started in 1492, when the first Europeans came here and invaded, committed a genocide. That's who the illegals are, and those are the people that came after that are the anchor babies. They're kids. Those are the true illegals. We have white supremacists right here. We have white supremacists here supporting Donald Trump. Why are they white supremacists? Because every time they attack the Muslims, they attack the Arabs, they attack the Mexican people, they attack the genocide, the original people of this continent. We're not illegals. Your ancestors, where did they come from? From Europe. We are the original people of this continent.
No,
we
you're
have
not.
the DNA from this land. The indigenous people of this land, our land. The rest of you that came from Europe are the true anchor babies. You guys came here illegally. So I just want to remind you guys why you guys are here. Because your ancestors committed a genocide. We did not invite you here. We took you in as guests, but you guys backstabbed us. We fed you. We taught you how to plant. We taught you how to live our lands, and you guys committed a genocide. America was founded on slavery. America was founded on the genocide of the original people of this land. And don't you forget that when you call us illegals. When you call a Mexican an indigenous descent illegal, remember, we're not the illegals. The Europeans that came here are the true illegals. These white supremacists here are the true illegals. If they don't like it, because we're going to be the majority, they can go back to Europe.
I was born here.
I was born here.
I was born here.
Participate in the rule of order, please. Next speaker.
Brad McIntosh.
Yes, he did. Disrespectful.
What did he say? What did she say? Across the bottom.
Wrong one. But you're definitely newsworthy.
You don't have to get that close to it.
Hello, everyone. Last I heard, Mexicans are half Spanish and half Indians.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not sure where he gets that from. Anyways, let's go on to the topic here. That little girl, I can't really do her. She was really great. I'm just kind of going to reiterate what she had to say. So I wanted to refer to is statistics for safer cities. In Florida, they have about 52 bad guys for every 100,000 people. In California, it's 96 for every 100,000 in prison for murder and manslaughter. Wouldn't it be nicer if we could have a safer community with less mayhem for felons who are here illegally? I'm all for pro-immigration. There's nothing wrong with that. If they want safer cities, it's best to enforce federal immigration laws or sanctuary city laws like SB 54, which protects illegals. Second topic. California is in a controversial state with federal law versus state law. Which do we go with? California belongs to the USA, not the other way around.
That's right.
California wants to have its laws that trump federal law. What's that? This is confusing for employers. Do I go with federal law and hire U.S. citizens from the community, or do I go hire illegals and hire cheap labor of non-U.S. citizens in alignment with California policy laws from policymakers that want to overload federal law? That's kind of very confusing for anyone that's running a business here. Each city can choose to follow either federal law or state law, depending on their moral compass. Democrat policies are all for illegals because they have a little bit of a kickback to get more voters to vote for them, so they get to stay in power. So they're kind of addicted to power, but that's not kind of a side menu for that. Anyways, in terms of California associating cities that address illegal immigration, do we go with open borders and control illegal, or do we go with federal laws? I say we go with federal laws and try not to let 23
Yeah!
So, really quick, are the remaining speakers all to speak on agenda item number 18?
Yes.
Thank you. So if you don't mind, let us get to that agenda item which I've moved forward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so cool. So right now, I ask for a motion to approve the balance of the consent, well, first the minutes and the consent calendar as council members. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Please make your vote and register it by locking it in. Thank you. And that passes unanimously. So now, by the authority vested in me, not a lot of authority, I'd like to move to item number 18, resolution supporting the city of Los Alamitos regarding rejection of state law sanctuary state. But first, I'd like the city attorney to do a twofer. One, to introduce the amicus consideration, and the second is staff report on agenda item 18.
Gladly, Mr. Mayor, members of the council and public. Well, never heard that before.
Finally want to hear you.
There's that. Regarding the amicus, we discussed this briefly at the last council meeting in the sense that all the cities in the state, to my knowledge, have been contacted and requested to support an amicus brief being prepared that is in support of the federal government's action against the state to overturn the three primary sanctuary state laws, as they're called. Council was receptive, but wanted to see what you were signing up for. We received belatedly, meaning after the agenda was posted. For our new visitors, we have a 72-hour posting requirement so people can be aware of and have an opportunity to see what's going on. That wasn't met by the outside firm and the group that drafted the amicus brief. Again, I'll step back. An amicus brief is what's called a friend of the court. We are not a party to it. We are expressing our support for one or the other sides of the main litigation. In this case, the council is considering supporting the federal government's position, respecting the primacy of federal law over state law.
Yes.
We received that brief yesterday. Council's been provided a copy of it. Under the Brown Act requirements, to add something after that 72-hour window, you have to make two findings. One, that the need arose after the agenda was posted, which again I submit to you, we received it yesterday, couldn't have done it 72 hours before, didn't even know if we were going to get it. They were continuing their drafting and they're working on this pleading. The other aspect is need has to be taken tonight rather than at a future meeting. The original filing date for this was yesterday. The court had extended it now to April 6th.
Oh, great.
That is before your next council meeting, so really you need to give us direction or consent, if you will, to our participation in this brief.
Do it now.
I've looked at it, we've had it reviewed, the legal authorities are correctly set forth. The thinking is clear. There is no legal reason to not support this.
Great.
So at this point, I would ask for the council first to consider adding it to the agenda. We'll call it 18B, because you've already got 18 there, which we'll refer to as 18A.
I would like to move that we add this to the agenda.
Yes.
All in favor signify by voting and locking in their vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
All right.
Passes unanimously.
Yes.
Please continue.
All right.
Yeah.
That is essentially the staff report for the amicus brief.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, so what's happening? Let me flip this here. Okay, so what happened is first
So
18A is a resolution,
I'm giving.
but the
my
amicus brief
second
wasn't ready
warning to
because
you
of
all. I wanna
a
hear
snafu from the law
everyone.
firm.
Look forward to
So
hearing
they
from everyone.
had to create another agenda
Don't
item,
interrupt
which they
the
do
meeting
now.
itself.
18B.
You do not want to be the first person that I ask the sergeant at arms to be removed from
No.
area, so some respect. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now, going to the staff report for the 18A, the Los Alamitos matter. We are all aware that the city of Los Alamitos, a charter city versus a general law city that we are, at its last meeting adopted an ordinance, a local law, that a charter city's ordinances are arguably more on par with state law. There's a million nuances in what I just said, but that's the thumbnail picture. And they have asked the local community, as well as I believe statewide, to see if any jurisdictions would support them in their position. The council expressed interest, certainly, as the whole community and probably the whole country has,
Yep.
in looking at this reaction to a state law that city believed to be inappropriate. At this point, this council is being recommended by my office to take the first step, if it's your pleasure, to adopt a resolution expressing support for their action. You have a resolution before you. Now, again, a resolution is not a law. A resolution is, for our purposes, considered a policy statement. We think that's the better course to take because first there are some drafting nuances in the Los Alamitos ordinance that probably will be cleaned up, so we are not endorsing that ordinance word for word. What we are recommending and what the action before you is to recommend and support the philosophy, the concept, the policy matters in it. That will give that community, other communities, a sense that Mission Viejo stands behind following the constitutional rule of law. We give time for the parties, Los Alamitos, and whoever else, the county, I believe, taking some action. Let it all settle out. That's why I say this is the first step. As this matures and we see what's going on, you may want to take a further step forward. You may not. We don't know really where it's going because it is so early on. But by this way, you send a very strong message that this council and the city stand for the rule of law. We're supporting the policies of the Los Alamitos action, and we're hoping the best for that.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. And just for further clarification, the council members up here have taken an oath sworn to the Constitution of the United States of America. But they've also taken an oath sworn to the Constitution of the State of California.
I got a problem.
Cities are not constitutional entities.
Yes.
These cities are cities because they are given the right to be a city by the state legislature. So at least when and until the federal government goes to court with the state and exerts its right of federal law over state law and wins, at that point we have different options available to the city. That's why we're doing a resolution in support and not an ordinance. So let's continue with public comments. There are a lot of you here that want to speak, want to hear from all of you. I'm not going to cut your time, which is my authority to cut it down to 2 minutes. I think that I will rely upon you when you come up. If you've heard what you want to say before, simply indicate the same and any additional information that you'd like to add. You don't, it's not a requirement of law to talk for 3 minutes. So anyway, let's start. Public comments on
Yes.
item number 18.
Yes, Mayor, we'll start with John Willis, followed by Kim Sorgente.
Oh, wow.
John?
Yes.
Yes, good evening, and I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your wonderful invocation, and I'd like to commend you on your "In God We Trust" under your city seal. All I'd like to say really is that what a nice place this is, and I support you in your fight against this lawlessness that's perpetrated by our godless governor and our lawless attorney general, Xavier Lycera. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I'm going to leave my number with your city clerk. And once again, God bless you, and God bless you all for showing up to fight against all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim Sorgente, followed by Arthur Schaper.
Oh my God.
Kim Sorgente, I'm a homeowner in Hampton Beach. I came down here to show you my solidarity with the desire and move for us to stand against sanctuary state. Sir, can I ask you to do me a favor? Take off your sunglasses so all the folks on television can see your beautiful eyes. All right, I don't want to get doxxed, sir, because the left can be very vicious sometimes. If they find out who you are, they want to get your face and put it all over the internet. I just thought I should put that out for you so you understand for future reference. Because this is a war. This is a battle. And you want to see the difference. You just go to Santa Ana where we were today, and boy, it gets vicious. You don't need metal detectors here, but they have metal detectors there. They have a large police force presence, and it's just really bad there. I mean, yesterday I stepped in human feces walking around the Santa Ana courthouse. So, you know, it's night and day. You don't want this city to go the route of Santa Ana. You don't want it to wind up like that. You don't want it to become a third world cesspool. And you have to do what you can as good stewards of what God has given you, a community, to preserve it and to protect it and to keep it from becoming like these third world countries that are not operating under the rule of law or liberty or the pursuit of freedom. All right? So we're Americans, and my father was born in another country. He assimilated. He assimilated to the American dream, and he assimilated to the American culture. That's what we need to do, is we need to have a barrier from this lawlessness that's trying to encroach upon us and invade us. We need to keep things and stem the tide and keep things under control. We need to be a nation and a state of laws once again, because this is a slow invasion. Imagine if Japan decided to fight the war in a different way and just immigrate all of their citizens to the United States so they could vote for an unconditional surrender of the United States to Japan. That would be what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a total demographic replacement in which people are trying to vote in what they could not convince the California voters to go for. So they just import new voters, new people that don't have a love for the freedoms of this country because they haven't adapted to what America is. You know, if you bring in a bunch of people that just want social welfare programs, you're going to get people that are going to just vote for less rights and more big government. You don't want that. You don't want what Santa Ana has. Believe me, I just saw it, and I see it every time I go down there. Syringes in the street, feces on the sidewalk. Oh. It is horrible. It is a horrible place, and I implore you to preserve what you have here in South County, because you owe it to us all. We cannot let these cities fall one by one. We cannot let that happen. So if there's anything else that can come to my mind, I mean, God gave me a family. He gave me a community, and He gave me a country. And that's a stewardship and an obligation. And I have to do the best I can with whatever power I have. You people have a stewardship as well. It's a sacred stewardship because you are in power to make decisions that can affect this community and affect the area for generations. So thank you for your time. Thank you.
My last name is pronounced Schaper, like going shopping. So yes, my name is Arthur Schaper. I am a lifelong California resident, American citizen. I was born, raised in Torrance, California. LA County has turned into a third world shithole. And you're seeing that little by little in Orange County, starting with Santa Ana. I feel so at home here, though, in Mission Viejo, where we have an audience and a growing community that wants to stand up to this sanctuary state lawlessness. I was there at Los Alamitos. History was made that day. It was like the second shot heard round the world. And we need you to join with Los Alamitos. We need every city in the state, every county board of supervisors in the state to join with this effort and make it crystal clear that we as citizens of the United States and of the state of California will not tolerate this lawlessness. Yes. Article 6, Section 2 could not be clearer. The United States Constitution and the federal laws are the supreme laws of the land. And we have a bunch of spoiled brats up in Sacramento who think they can pick which laws to keep and which laws they can ignore. And we cannot have this. Yes. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. On my shirt, I wear the picture of Marcello Bizzarello, Orange County resident, killed by a 5-time deportee, drunk driving illegal alien. There is an average of 25 Americans a day are killed by illegals. Where were his dreams? I am so tired of hearing about illegal aliens and their dreams. I am also tired of hearing the false history. If this is stolen land, it's trying to be stolen by the Democrats in Sacramento, and we're taking it back. All these brown supremacists are just the new modern-day KKK. If they're not killing Republicans, they harass black people. And in fact, now over there, his YouTube channel got shut down because he harasses women and children and steals their content. Again, total lawlessness. We must put a stop to this. First, I implore you, join with, pass the resolution supporting the city of Los Alamitos, opposing sanctuary state. Yes, absolutely, support the amicus brief. And you know what? Because of the oaths you all took to the United States Constitution, again, there is no conflict here. If the state law doesn't want to comply with federal law, too bad for the state. You go with the federal law. That's what you have. That's the authority that's given to you. You are not alone in this fight. You have the Board of Supervisors that just passed today supporting opposition to Senate Bill 54, and they already filed the amicus brief. You are not alone in this fight. Join with this fight. And last of all, history lesson. 1865, nullification ended on the Battle of Appomattox Courthouse. There will be no revival. This union will last. We are Americans, and we will not tolerate this sanctuary state lawlessness. Thank you. Triggered. You're being deported. Bye.
Triggered. Nikki.
Before you begin, I would like future speakers not to enunciate anyone's name or aggravation towards anyone on this panel or anyone in the audience. Make your comments to the issue only. Thank you very much. And then you may begin.
My name is Nicole Sotero. Thank you for having us here today. I'd like to start by dispelling a few misconceptions about the true cost of illegal immigration. Currently, California pays $23,038,125,000 annually for the care of illegals and their dependents. California is rated 50th, that's dead last in quality of life. 26th in overall education, but 44th in K through 12 education. 43rd in fiscal stability and 49th in affordability. They say that illegal immigrants pay taxes. I contest that while some do file taxes, they do not pay taxes.
Nope.
They are incentivized to file because they get large refunds.
Yep.
Even able to claim non-citizen, non-resident nationals of another country to fluff up the refund to an amount greater than the initial taxing. In fact, if illegal immigration is a net positive to the economy, why is California the highest tax state with plans to enact even higher taxes? That's right. Educating a single child in California for a public K through 12 education costs taxpayers, allowing for inflation, $122,000. That's just over $10,000 per school year per child. That means a single undocumented parent of a single child enrolled in our schools would need to pay taxes on earnings of $270,000 a year to be a net neutral expense. And that's assuming that the family uses no welfare programs, no police support, does not use our roads or our emergency rooms. And we all know that's not the case. The rules are set up to provide for the needs of illegals before the needs of citizens. Welfare programs give a lower eligibility threshold for households with undocumented members in the home, allowing for non-citizen households to receive the benefits of the labor of hardworking Americans. They are given preferential acceptance into college and are given protection by the state when they commit crime. This protection is not afforded to citizens. I've heard the violin play for people who talk about the immigration laws as an inhumane tearing apart of families. But I don't hear much sympathy for the company owners that have been threatened with huge fines that could cripple their business or imprison them for cooperating with the federal government.
Right.
If this was done in a court case, wouldn't that be considered witness intimidation?
Yep.
Why does the government get to bully the law-abiding? But the argument is that they're here, they made this their home. I contest that you are not obligated to feed, house, and tend to the wounds of an intruder turned squatter that entered your home while you weren't looking, any more than I am obligated to house, feed, and provide medical services to intruders into my country.
Yes.
Enough is enough. Your oath and responsibility is to the citizens of this country, those that elected you. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, which states that when state law and federal law are at odds, the federal law shall be upheld as supreme.
Yes.
This is not a partisan issue. These immigration laws were passed by a bipartisan Congress with no race in mind. The federal government is not asking the local police departments to act as ICE agents. They're asking for cooperation, for a phone call, and for public service workers to not obstruct justice. Thank you very much.
Yeah! All right! Yeah!
Last day so Carol, followed by Heron and Zeal.
Yeah. Taking California back. That's right.
Oh, I'm next.
After.
All right. Heron Uziel.
He didn't show up. Go for it, man.
Hi, my name is Harry Musiel. I am with Los Angeles. My name is Harry Musiel. I am with Los Angeles County for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and Make California Great Again, Inc., head of the Jewish Coalition. I want to add, I am of Mexican, Jewish, and indigenous descent. And I'm 100% American. I want to encourage this city of Mission Viejo to follow just as Los Alamitos has done, and just recently the whole county of Orange. This is not an immigration issue. This is not a race issue. This is a safety issue and a law issue, which we are binded with. I just want to give a little bit of history because there's some people here that the gentleman earlier was trying to say history. I think he should go back to where he's from and say that to the Spanish.
Okay, so just keep your comments limited non-personally, please.
Okay, I'm sorry?
That's okay.
No, okay, I was trying to address him because he was trying to address us.
I appreciate
But anyway, his history is all messed up, and we need to get on the correct history, and we need to also understand that this is not stolen land, this is conquered land, and this was bought land, and now it's a sovereign country that I'm honored to have been born in, and I'm 100% American. This is my house. We don't accept illegal aliens to come in here and demand stuff because I can't even go to Mexico and do this. They'll kill me over there or any other country. But anyway, I want to encourage you guys. We're going to hold you guys accountable. Let's respect the law. Let's respect our Constitution. And let's respect our president. Thank you very much.
Yeah! It's the heifer. What's up?
Bob Beck, followed by Kenny Strong.
Go, Kenny.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Beck, and I do support the resolution supporting the city of Los Alamitos regarding rejection of state laws sanctuary state. First of all, I want to mention, I won't mention that person's name, but he's over here espousing hatred, racist and white race and all that. But I would suggest he's probably off his medication. Okay. The once golden state of California is not so golden anymore. It's a poverty state. Why? This sanctuary state is blatantly declaring war on their legal, loyal, patriotic citizens and punishing their law-abiding legal citizens by freeing illegal aliens as if they were saints and blameless.
Right.
Pure insanity. These illegal aliens commit every heinous crime you can think of on the books. Example, Cape Stanley was murdered on a pier with her father. And with the blessing of two warped Sacramento swampies, Attorney General Becerra and Senate President Kevin DeLeon, the author of SB 54. We must not forget Moonbeam Jerry Brown. These soulless arrogant three amigos will see the people rise like the phoenix from the ashes.
Yes.
And we the people will rule.
Yes.
Not the soulless, corrupt, and vile SB 54 supporters.
Yep.
Damn SB 54. Willful blindness of the law cannot be tolerated. Won't be pretty if the exploitation continues. Take note, Dems, Libs, and rivals. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Go Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny Strong, followed by Kathy Skandolovich.
Hello, everyone. I am activist and Mission Viejo resident Kenny Strong. It's an honor to be here. I've definitely been here before to ask a question, but this is, of course, my first time doing a full speech as a resident of the city of Mission Viejo before the council expressing my views on this. So I'm going to make the case for opting out. It wasn't too long ago, in 2015 and early 2016, I really didn't consider immigration too much of an issue. Back then, I was more of your run-of-the-mill Christian social conservative Ben Carson supporter who, at the time, cared far more about ending abortion than about stopping illegal immigration. That is, until it dawned on me that maybe, just maybe, the rise in illegal immigration and amnesty and in the importation of more unskilled, uneducated, welfare-exploiting foreign voters made itself actually be directly causing this social bluing of the communities most affected by it. The fact of the matter is this: regardless of legal status, this is a statistic that lumps both legal and illegal immigration together. Immigrants from Mexico and points south vote on average 60% in favor of big government social policies like welfare, and also vote for people who want taxpayers to foot the bill for their degenerate actions. Why? So they can keep lazily sleeping around while unmarried, lazily messing up the streets, and perhaps most degenerate of all, violently attacking, sometimes with deadly weapons, all who resist. Now again, that 60% figure is if you include legal immigration from Mexico, but what if you don't include it and just include illegal immigration alone? Drop legal immigration from that statistic, and this number jumps to around 90%.
Whoa.
I've been to places where this has already happened. Back in February, I took a bus trip up to Santa Ana to see what an encampment of DACA-aged illegals looks like. And what I saw there, sleeping all over the parking lot of the library, shocked me. This was a common dress code in this encampment. They all had shaved heads, gang tattoos, and blasted gangster rap on their phones. They also made hand signs, including the signature M sign typically displayed by MS-13 members.
Whoa.
Now, I don't know about you, but if it looks like a gangster, dresses like a gangster, and acts like a gangster, and makes gestures like a gangster, then it's probably a gangster. We in Viejo do not want this kind of degeneracy in our neighborhoods, which is, of course, one reason why the sanctuary state law must be opted out of. Even those who do work don't depend on welfare and aren't gangsters who bring other problems with them. No, DACA recipients are not children. Their average age is 24, my age. Contrary to popular belief, they also are not agricultural workers. 30% of people here illegally, and this includes those who are non-working welfare leeches, who are actually the majority, work not in agriculture but in construction. Another 20% work in other trades. These trades are what used to allow students to work their way through college without needing to take out any student loans in order to pay for their education. Now, they're being quickly hogged by illegal aliens before our youth have a chance to get them. Hence, illegal immigration is in and of itself the root cause of the student loan crisis. I don't know about you, but when I apply for a job, I want it to be readily available and not have to compete with people who burglarized our country by trespassing the border in order to obtain it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Of all the problems that illegal immigration brings with it, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but it's still an exhaustive list to say the least. From moral and social degeneracy to urban decay to direct competition with millennials like myself for trade jobs, the people that Governor Brown wants to make our state a sanctuary for bring absolutely nothing positive to the areas in which they settle. On the contrary, they bring nothing but problems everywhere they go.
Time's up.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Kenny.
Kathy Scandalovich, followed by Jennifer Martinez.
I'm Kathy Skindrovich, and I've been a resident of California all my life. I've watched the state decline under Governor Brown not once but twice.
Oh.
And his latest idea, the sanctuary state, is his worst idea yet. If tax-paying citizens commit any crime, we are fined or even jailed as the laws see fit. Why should illegals or undocumented people who've already broken a law by coming into our country illegally be given sanctuary? This is especially true for criminal illegals. Our taxpayer money goes to pay for law enforcement to keep us safe, yet a sanctuary state is in direct opposition of that. I don't want my money going to sanctuary, to suing the federal government over sanctuary status. I want my money going to my community. I definitely don't want to help criminals stay safe in my city.
Yes.
Please side with Los Alamitos.
Yeah! Thank you. All right.
Jennifer Martinez, followed by Mike Gentrick.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Martinez. I know you said not to mention names, so I will not mention names, but it is a gang name. Now we have mentioned that we're white supremacists. I am one of those so-called white supremacists. And I have 3 Hispanic children that I use as tokens. But see, I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm not getting the benefits. My kids aren't getting the benefits. My child's going to college for nursing school, and she's actually having to pay for it herself, unbelievably, because she is half Hispanic. I'm shocked. Now, she's going to have lots of bills to pay. We do go to DACA meetings, and we would sit there and listen to how they teach these illegal aliens how to go to college for free. While my child is, although half Hispanic, she's going to have tons and tons of loans to pay, and I'm really confused about it. So I just want to say that I am not for sanctuary cities, and I thank you for your time. And I do want to thank you for starting out in prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's right.
Yeah! All right.
Jenny.
Mike Gentrick, followed by Vincent Fox.
First of all, I'd like to say I've been to a lot of city council meetings and all over California, and this has got to be one of the nicest places I've ever seen and the most professional and well-run
yes.
I've seen. I want to compliment you on that. And I just want to make this quick. I hope you oppose SB 54 and send a message to Jerry Brown and the people in Sacramento that this is not their state, this is our state.
Right. Yes.
And we rule by the Constitution, which says in the Constitution that everything regarding immigration and naturalization is done by Congress, not by Sacramento. And so I would just implore you to stand with us, vote against SB 54, and send a message to Jerry Brown. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Vincent Fox, followed by Chanel Temple.
Yes, hello, my name is Mitch and I am a citizen here. And I'd like to follow up with, this land was first not stolen, it was definitely conquered, unless you're considering giving Conor McGregor his belt back. But let's just start with a purely economic standpoint. In the 1960s, the minimum wage was actually higher than it is today, relative to inflation. No matter which inflation index you look at, the minimum wage was higher. Now, why is it? It's purely simple economics. This is something that even far left progressive socialists with tuna stains on their lapels, like Bernie Sanders, agrees with. He says that open borders makes a country poorer, and it does.
Yep.
And it has been for a very long time. Now these are people. Now most of the immigration here, if you look at Pew Research studies, which is the most renowned, well-renowned research organization in America, 1/3 of immigrants coming to America have less than high school education.
Yeah.
Only 22% of Hispanic immigrants that come to America graduated high school. It sounds like they're not sending their best. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, from 2011 to 2017, there were over 600,000 crimes committed by illegal aliens.
Yes.
1,800 of those crimes included murder, and almost 6,000 of those
Arthur's
crimes included rape. So this is according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. Now that's just one state in only a 6-year period. I can imagine how bad it is here for California. 1/3 of federal prisoners in this country are illegally here. 1/3 of all federal prisoners here in this country are illegally here. Now, I think that the Democrats and the left, Nancy Pelosi, the Kennedys of old in the 1960s especially, saw that the average white American here in America were not voting for big government, more services, were not voting for the Democrats. So they had to sign a bill into law called the 1965 Hart-Celler Immigration Act. Now this is something that Ted Kennedy himself promised would not change the ethnic mix of this country. It did. Promised that Americans would not lose their jobs.
They did.
They are. And promised that not 1 million immigrants would not come here annually from any one country. Now this is also untrue. If you look at 40 of the 50 states, according to Pew Research, the source of immigration into 40 of the 50 states today is Mexico. So almost every single one of the states here in this country, the source of immigration is coming from Mexico. That doesn't sound very inclusive to me. Before 1965, we had the source of immigration coming into our states from a variety of many developed nations, including Germany, Italy, France, Sweden, all sorts of different developed nations. And the Democrats realized that they're not going to vote for bigger government, bigger services, and give us more power. And this is the reason why you're seeing many of the policies being passed by the left, including Ted Kennedy, who killed the woman.
Yes. Chappaquiddick.
And got acquitted, right. And so this is the reason why you're seeing many attacks on the white male, especially in colleges, who are saying that, white males have privilege and all of these different things. It's to get rid of the white male American man so that the Democrats can gain absolute power. And I mean, it's as simple as that.
Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Time is up. Thank you.
Oh, go Chanel.
Chanel.
My name is Chanel Temple.
Chanel, well, you have beautiful sunglasses.
Let me tell you why I'm wearing these glasses. I have been called a white supremacist. I just left in February, and if my people down south find out that I'm a white supremacist.
Triggered.
Take the medication now. Anyways, I kind of want to speak about illegal immigration and the effects that it has had on the black community. It's really devastating. I myself, as a black American, I have Native American, I have Asian, I have Irish, and I have African in my blood. My people have been here forever. Okay, I have been called out on my names. I had a job. I lost my job. I was told I did not speak Spanish, and I was fired from my job. I lost everything I had because I couldn't recover fast enough. The black community has been really devastated by racist, illegal immigration. Blacks have been kicked off their jobs. We have been told, given excuses that we're lazy and we don't want to work, when everybody here knows that it was blacks. We helped build this country, and we should not be in this predicament. We also are lacking benefits. We're being mistreated, and it's unfair. We are American citizens, too. I want to share a little bit. practice a certified federal registered tax preparer. I've been doing taxes since 1985, and it's true what the young lady said about they're not paying taxes. They're not. What they do, they're claiming their relatives in Mexico with an ITIN number, publication 17, page 26 and 27. And the IRS, which is now being ran by the deep state, is using that as an excuse to allow them to get away with claiming other people. I can't claim people in Africa. So why are they allowed to claim people out of the country who are not U.S. citizens? Also,
that's right.
I want people to know in the audience, Social Security in 2014, Jeff Sessions sent a letter to the Commissioner of Social Security about they were processing benefits so fast for people who were coming over here could not speak English. It is now with Social Security, you can get SSI if you do not speak English. That's considered a disability.
Oh, Lord.
Look up Jeff Sessions. This is unfair. When an American citizen, I lost my eyesight. I worked out there 40 years, and when I needed help, I didn't get help. I had a 5-year-old, and I don't share this with everybody. We had medical, but we needed supplemental medical. My daughter had sickle cell. My daughter died at 5 years old because we were denied medical. This is what we're going through. And this is what, not only as a black American, as an American period, this is what Americans are going through. We're not getting the benefits that we work out there for. We're not getting the jobs, and it's unfair. And I just want to thank you, and please take into consideration that Americans should come first. And this illegal immigration problem really exploding in California, we need to show the rest of the country that California...
Yeah! That's right!
We need to all band together and send a message to the rest of the country and the rest of the world that we're not going to tolerate it.
No. Yeah! All right. Take their check. All right, Chanel.
Louis Reyes, followed by Rosella Yeager.
Honorable Mayor, esteemed council, I'm here because I've seen many of these since I've been in California, and I wanted to mention to you folks that y'all are a breath of fresh air.
Yeah!
This is an awesome audience for us to speak to. You took an oath to the Constitution. That's the law of the land. Yes. Whatever the California Constitution says, the Constitution of the United States supersedes.
You bet.
California Constitution.
Yes.
I was a little embarrassed. I'm a resident of California, been a resident for many years. The Attorney General has to come to our state and levy a lawsuit against
I know.
the legislature.
Embarrassing.
That is appalling. And there's more to this, and there's not enough time to speak on it, but I'm a firm believer if you cut the head of a snake off, the body dies.
Yes.
We got a snake up there.
Oh.
And these people that are running this government, and it's not just the top guy, it's the ones he's listening to below him. We have people there that have initiated SB 54 that are agenda driven, and I hope you know what I mean when I say they're agenda driven. They are decimating our cities. They are decimating California. The great state of California, the state that everyone wanted to be in, come to, vacation in. Now we're getting a bum rap. Californians go to other states and they don't want them there. Because of what California represents. I can honestly tell you that. I have relatives in Texas, and the Californians they just don't want them there. Personas non grata because of what California represents. So I hope this evening that we leave these chambers, and when you go home, you think about what it's going to do to your children and our children here in California. They're not going to be safe. I can tell you that because I do know the statistics. And this young man said that that one segment of the illegal aliens that are here in America are 24 years old. Well, they're actually 24 and older. 30% of them are hardened criminals.
Yep.
Now here, we're having to explain the government of California telling our citizens that they can't talk to ICE agents. They can't turn anyone in because they're going to get in trouble and they're going to get thrown in jail and fined enormous amount of money. Or business owners, the same thing. I would hope that this is just the start of the dominoes falling in California.
Yes. Yes.
We need this very badly. We are losing revenue from people leaving the state. Think of what that's doing to us. This beautiful city will be nothing but a cesspool if you let it become a sanctuary city, which is sad. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Louis. All right, Louis. Thank you.
Yeager, followed by Jesse Cass.
Yeah.
Suave. Thank you for your service. Did you guys give your names to the city clerk? Did you give your names to the city clerk so you can get credit for being here? Maybe the scoutmaster, my name isn't going to work for you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ursula Yeager. I'm a resident of Irvine for the past 15 years. I wanted to bring up a situation that's personal to me, but I'm hoping that maybe it'll help you understand where I'm coming from as a resident of this county. My husband grew up in Florida, in Miami in the 80s during the Mariel boat lift situation with all of the immigrants coming over from Cuba. And he was white, Christian, and a minority. And at the time, he was attacked, his mother was mugged, his sister was almost raped, his other sister was mugged.
Oh.
He was almost kidnapped at gunpoint. He had a horrific childhood. They had to lock his school with chains and padlocks on the doors to keep the criminals in, so they couldn't get out into the neighborhoods during school hours. He grew up in a situation where he was actually the one that was a victim of racism as a white Christian. So I grew up in Arizona and had a completely different situation where I didn't experience any of that. And so when I met him, we met up in Florida, I was appalled at the fact that he had issues with blacks or Cubans or Mexicans because I hadn't grown up in that situation. So it took me a long time to get him to understand that the whole country wasn't like that. It was a particular situation that was, one certain area because of what happened with the Cubans coming over and of course, the stories of the jails being, the criminals being let out of the jails in Cuba and put on boats and the mentally insane and all of that. I told him the rest of the country wasn't like that, and so we moved for work, and everywhere we moved, he started to see that that was the case. When he got a job offer in California, I knew that there would be diversity here. I knew there would be, many different ethnicities and races here, and it would be, because I grew up in Arizona, I knew that I was sure that the racism wouldn't be here like it was back then, because it wasn't when I was in Arizona growing up. We decided to move here and raise our children, and we were proud of the fact that there was no racism, especially in Irvine, one of the most diverse cities in the state. We were excited, to be able to have a peaceful existence with all other races and ethnicities, and for everybody to feel equal and get along well. And it's just appalling to me that, now we're in a situation that is very similar to what he grew up in Miami. We're being discriminated against, we're being told that we're not equal, we're being treated like, we are less than because we're white, because we're Christian, and now because we're citizens of the country, we are actually getting less rights and less respect than the illegals who come over, just like what happened during the boat lift. And it's shocking and upsetting to me that I have to raise my children in a situation that I thought was going to be completely opposite, and it's actually starting to emanate exactly what he went through, and I'm concerned about the safety of my children, and the safety of everybody's children in this county and state.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, thanks, Ursula. No more racism.
My name is Jesse. Jesse S. followed by Ian LaFontaine.
Ian.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start by saying Becerra, David Young, and Governor Brown, they are criminals.
Yes.
I'll tell you why they're criminals. They are in violation of harboring subsection 1324A1A. Anybody here was to do that, you'd be arrested. So for them to violate that law, they should be put away.
That's right.
That's out of line. We are a nation of laws, or we are not. It's plain and simple, ladies and gentlemen. And another thing I like to say about illegals. I know a gentleman who makes $160 a day, and he's illegal. I know this female who works as a dental assistant, and she's illegal. These are jobs that can go to Americans.
Yes, that's right.
What's up with that? This is America.
They're working, that's why.
These are the jobs that should go to Americans. If you go to the Home Depot, you know how much they ask for a day's labor? It's $150. That's what they ask for. They won't help in your truck. They make more than the people that work at the Home Depot. That's appalling. So for people to say that they don't take jobs, it's ridiculous. One more thing that nobody's really talking about, what SB 54 does. It puts our law enforcement in jeopardy.
Yes.
Because if we have criminals in the jail system, that's when they're the most safest to transfer. If they get out, catch and release, then our authorities have to go pick them up, or they could get killed, they could get blasted, and it's happened. You all know it's happened. They've gone to doors, knock on doors, and they get blasted. This is why I urge you to vote no sanctuary. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah! Yeah!
Bandido right here.
All right.
Bandido.
Go, Ian.
Ian. Followed by Beverly Welch.
Ian.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, my name is Ian LaFontaine. I'm a proud resident of Orange County. In 2001, my cousin was killed by her boyfriend who was an illegal immigrant.
Wow.
Since 9/11, 62,000 Americans have been killed by illegal immigrants. We've had people up here talk about issues of taxes, jobs. This is all true. They're taking jobs. They're not paying taxes.
Oh, no, I got you.
We have people suffering in the state. The state is an embarrassment. I have friends all over the country that laugh at us. And a lot of it's because of our sanctuary policy. I'm here supporting you guys today. Supporting Los Alamitos. SB 54 is lawlessness. It needs to end. Americans need to be thought of first. Why are we looking out for people that come from another country illegally? I just want to say that I'm very proud of you guys today. And I hope you guys stand up against SB 54.
Yeah!
Yeah! All right.
Beverly Welch, followed by Christie.
This guy hates America.
Herbie.
Now he hates America.
My name is Beverly Welch.
Microphone.
Sorry. My name is Beverly Welch. I'm an American citizen first. I'm a native-born American, or Californian second. I'm sorry, wasn't prepared to speak today. SB 54 is, as we all know, illegal. I'm coming to you as a victim of an illegal immigrant.
Oh.
I was hit by a repeat offender, illegal drunk driver at 7:50 a.m. in the morning, taking my 4th grade daughter to school. Thankfully, 3 citizens followed this man who traveled at a high rate of speed through 3 different cities, cornered him in a parking lot where law enforcement was able to arrest him. He was arrested, he served 90 days, made no restitution, used a false address. It took me 6 months before I was able to work again.
I suffered permanent damage to my back. My daughter is a victim of post-traumatic stress disorder from automobile accidents. If she hears a car screech, she curls into a fetal position. Illegal immigrants do not affect just the city that they reside in. I also have a disabled son who receives SSDI. He is not able to get housing assistance. He is not able to get food assistance. Yet people come into my country. I work full-time to make sure that I can support my son who cannot live with me. This is all I can tell you. I support you in going against the state. But one thing that everyone needs to remember that's most important, just like the 10 Commandments, laws are not suggestions.
Right.
They are laws.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Wow, this is great. So much support.
My name is Christy, and most of what I was going to say has already been said, so I'll be brief. I'm a proud resident of Mission Viejo, and the last time I checked, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And I don't know what banana republic I'm living in, but we need to send a message to Sacramento. We need to send a message to Jerry Brown.
Yes.
Our local legislature and elected officials, we the people should decide what is safe for our community and not Sacramento. In my opinion, the criminal act, if you will, that's being committed right now is that the state of California has imposed a law that prevents local sheriffs and law enforcement from assisting ICE agents in doing their lawful job, their federally mandated job in identifying and processing these criminals and illegal immigrants. To me, that's just mind-boggling. And I'd also like to point out that over half of criminals reoffend in the first year. I don't want people like that living in my community. These criminals are re-released back into our community. I'm thinking of the Kate Steinley case up in San Francisco. What a tragedy. I don't want that to be my daughter. I won't get off into a political rant, but our demographic is radically being changed, and it's intentional. And as voters, we're being disenfranchised.
Yes.
And I'd like to just end with a quote. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Martin Luther King. Wake up, California. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah! Yeah!
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
That's it.
Out.
Afuera.
Jessica.
Ranko, followed by Genevieve Peters.
Genevieve.
Hello, good evening, council members. My name is Jessica Rancola, and I'm a new resident to Mission Viejo. First of all, I'd like to thank you for being a God-fearing city, and I'd like to congratulate you members on maintaining a beautiful city. It's been a real pleasure ever since I've moved here from Mountain Valley. I'm here to urge you all to stand with Los Alamitos, the city of Los Alamitos, in opting out of SB 54 and standing behind our Constitution and standing behind federal law. I'm sure you guys will make the right decision, and I'd like to thank you in advance. And again, we love you, and you guys have a beautiful city.
Yes,
sir. Yeah! All right! Hey, Jean-Pierre.
Genevieve Peters, followed by Benjamin Garcia.
Hi, my name is Genevieve Peters, founder and executive director for the Family America Project. So I can't help but just get the most excited feeling to have patriot after patriot after patriot after patriot.
Yes, that's right.
Come up here and tell you how much they love their country, how much they love the city of Mission Viejo and God's Trust, how much they love the state. This is an outcry. That's why we have all shown up here. We are sick and tired of being forgotten. We are sick and tired of having laws that go against the citizens of California, the citizens of America. We are sick and tired of people not taking into account that we have a Constitution. Yes. That Constitution cost blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
We had people, when we fought a revolutionary war in order to have our own sovereign country, people came here and made sure that they followed the rule of law. And I hear so many people talk about we are a nation of immigrants. Well, let me tell you a bit of history about what those immigrants had to do when they got off their boats and they came here on Ellis Island. Their documents were checked to make sure they were free from disease.
Yep.
Their teeth were checked. They had to make sure that they were actually viable for employment.
Yep.
And they also had to have some kind of source of income. So when you tell me we are a nation of immigrants, our system today is nothing what it was like back then. And quite frankly, I wish it was the same. Because if we had a vetting system like we needed to have for so long, we would not have the homelessness problem we have. We would not have the drug addiction problem
That's
we
right.
have. We
Yep.
would not have all of these ills that have come into our country because we have no longer valued a vetting system. We need to secure our borders. We need to have the Constitution respected. When you take an oath, you take that oath because you care about the people that elected you. Yes.
That's right.
And now we have people in Sacramento that have no regard for the people of the state of California. And I'm sorry, I've heard people call them the Three Amigos. I tend to call them the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
And you know, talking about the Three Stooges, there was an immense amount of chaos that they created. And those people, Becerra, Governor Brown,
Yep.
and De Leon,
Yep.
create chaos in every one of your cities.
Rest
And every one of you are now faced with the situation to have to take on the state of California because they are continuing to pass laws and create chaos that are against the Constitution and against the American citizen and the California citizen of this state.
Thank you very much.
Yeah! All right.
Karim, Arthur, Jesse. Michael Roger.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, esteemed council members, staff. My name is Benjamin Garcia. I am a native of California and a former sworn police officer here in the state of California. Graduate LA Sheriff's Academy, served in the city of Inglewood and Orange, and on the Public Safety Disaster Committee for Orange County Sheriff, and a certified trainer for the Department of Homeland Security for bioterrorism. I strongly believe in these laws of our great Republic of California, state of California. We are a republic. People talk about democracy. Well, Attorney General Jeff Sessions said it the other day. He says, we will abide by this matter was settled in the late 1800s. It was settled then. And I greatly appreciate y'all taking your positions that you're taking today. My mother is 96 years old, a resident in Los Angeles County, and it appalls her what she is seeing today. My father, who is deceased several years ago, was a native-born Texan and a combat veteran in World War II. My parents broke their tails to give my sister and I parochial educations so that we would be able to understand history as it should be taught, and it is being negated in today's Common Core places that are being taught, okay? We need to stand up to what my friend just said, the Three Stooges. They are teaching and indoctrinating us in socialism and in communist affairs, that they have these kids, most of them don't know why they're out marching, but we had some distinguished young people here today, and I compliment them on being educated and being able to express themselves in the manners that they have. I intend to continue to reside here in the state of California. I will not quit. I will never stand
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I will
right.
stand up for the Second Amendment and abide by all the amendments of our constitutional state. And in God we trust. Thank you very much.
Yeah! All right!
Janine Ortel.
Very good. I know a lot of influence.
Followed by Cheryl Thomas.
Everybody knows.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening regarding this important issue that impacts all of us. My family and I moved to California almost 17 years ago, looking forward to enjoying this beautiful state and creating a life here. We have been members of the Mission Viejo community for almost 14 years, and we've enjoyed living here very much. I've grown my small business here as well, which I'm very proud of. Recently, Governor Brown signed what I consider to be an illegal and unconstitutional bill into law, making California a sanctuary state. This is deeply concerning to me and my family. No matter how you phrase it with fancy and articulate language, the truth is, SB 54 allows criminal illegal immigrants a free pass back into our society without fear of deportation, which I think is utterly insane.
Yes.
I am a legal immigrant to the U.S. My parents and I immigrated to this country when I was 4 years old, with just 100 Turkish lira in their pocket.
Wow.
Both my parents went to night school to learn the English language. My dad was a jeweler, building his business in New York City, while my mom worked at my elementary school. As soon as I turned 18, I became a naturalized citizen, the first in my family. I am very proud of my country and all it has done for me and my family. I hate to see lawlessness and chaos, which SB 54 gives rise to. We are a nation of laws. We are not a nation of sanctuaries. Becoming a sanctuary state hurts all of us. It is offensive and deeply troubling to me that our state legislators wrote this bill and signed it into law without allowing its legal citizens a vote or a say. Whatever happened to government of the people, by the people, and
for the people.
Whatever happened to law and order? This past weekend, my husband and I drove up to Glendale, and along the way, we saw signs that said, "No ice." Wow. I asked myself if the people that put those signs up knew exactly what they were demanding, or its consequences. We also passed a tent city that was filled with trash and just utter sadness. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I asked myself how we got to this point. I feel that people are allowing their contempt, and in some cases hatred, for our great president to cloud their judgment and guide our state into a ditch. SB 54 puts us all at risk. I learned today that according to the Orange County Sheriff, 172 criminal illegal immigrants have been released back into our society since the start of the year.
Oh, Lord.
That includes crimes like domestic violence, theft, and DUI. How does keeping them here in California make us safe? How is it that, how is that in the best interest of the citizens of our state? I ask that Mission Viejo join other cities in California in fighting SB 54 and not stand idly by while the state legislators put illegal immigrants' interests ahead of law-abiding citizens. We need to take back our rights as citizens and abide by the U.S. Constitution and the rule of law. Without that, we have anarchy and we have no country. We should be able to live in our communities in safety and security, and SB 54 takes that right away. Thank you for your time.
Yeah! All right.
We have Michael next. We have Michael next, followed by
Jerry.
Oh, Michael, next.
That's okay.
Oh, this guy.
Hi, Mike Rusher, resident of Mission Viejo. I do love my country and I do love my city. I'm going to go against the grain on this one and speak in support of sanctuary cities. I'm not expecting to change anybody's mind, but I felt it important to express my opinion as guaranteed in this Constitution that we all cherish, though we may interpret it differently. There is no one definition of a sanctuary city. In general, it reflects the belief that it is the responsibility of the federal government to enforce federal law. It does not prevent criminals from being incarcerated. It does not prevent the undocumented from being deported.
Yes, it does.
It is merely a matter of jurisdiction prompted by the belief that requiring local law enforcement to enforce federal immigration policy causes more problems than it solves, especially in the areas of health and safety. Essential to this point of view is the statistical fact that immigrants commit less crime than the general population. And it alarms me that in this and so many other issues, we have two diametrically opposed sides, alarmingly contradictory facts and statistics. But there we are. And this is a complex problem and there are no easy solutions. And at a time when our city is trying to encourage minorities in our city to feel more inclusive and a more integral part of the democratic process, I fear that this resolution will do the opposite by reinforcing this perception of being the other. For the rest of this, I'm just going to read some stuff I copied off the internet because I didn't really prepare anything tonight. Having local officials enforce federal immigration law erodes community trust and does not prevent crime. Statistics show that a cooperative relationship between law enforcement and immigrant communities enhances public safety and reduces crime. In contrast, greater involvement of local police in immigration enforcement has significantly heightened many immigrants' fear of the police, contributing to their social isolation, exacerbating their mistrust of law enforcement authorities. Excuse me. Allowing law enforcement of federal immigration law has led to lower crime reporting by immigrants and less information sharing between immigrant communities and local police. Rather than feeling safer because of increased police involvement in immigration enforcement, many immigrants feel less safe and feel that they can no longer go to local enforcement to report being victims or witnesses to crime. To this end, a recent study of Latino communities undertaken by the University of Illinois Chicago reported that 45% of Latinos surveyed stated they are less likely to voluntarily offer information about crimes, and 45% are less likely to report a crime because they are afraid
That's
police will
racist.
ask them
What?
what people they know about their
Latinos are
immigration
illegals?
status due to increased local enforcement
That's racist.
efforts on behalf of the federal government. Requiring law enforcement entities to enforce federal immigration law complicates their responsibility to protect and serve the local communities of which they are a part. Local building and maintaining trust between local law enforcement and residents is an important mechanism in any effort to stop criminal behavior. As local law officials take on the responsibility to enforce federal immigration law, the risk emerges that rifts will occur between local law enforcement and the local community. Immigrants living.
Thank you.
Thank you.
63,000 are killed.
Quiet!
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 911.
Quiet!
63 Americans, 63,000 Americans.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. I had a nice little speech all planned out, but my phone died, so I'm just going to I'm a resident of the city of Orange, but I come up here every weekend. My best friends live here in Mission Viejo, and so I come up here every weekend and raid the refrigerator. So I spend a lot of time. I stand before you,
They need to
a
lock
very
the door.
proud citizen of the United States that was once an immigrant. 45 years ago, my mother and I came over here to this great nation. We were not provided sanctuary. You know, we were not provided an easier soft way. You know, we were told what we had to do to become American citizens, and we did it. We worked hard. We took the time we needed, and we paid our dues, and we became American citizens. And as a citizen that was once an immigrant, I find it perfect that anybody would come over here to this country and think they could just thumb their nose at our laws.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
I find it insulting that any state in this union will. That's very insulting to me as an immigrant. There are 195 countries on the face of this planet. Can you name me one single one that allows for illegal immigration? No, you can't, because that country does not exist. Why should we allow for illegal immigrants to come over here? Huh? Why should we be the ones to do that? Well, if we don't like a law, we just change the name. Illegal immigration, oh, undocumented worker. You know, burglar, oh, undocumented guest. You know? Oh, bank robbery, oh, undocumented withdrawal.
Yeah.
You're gonna pass that law, aren't you?
Where's this lawlessness in? You know where it ends? It ends right here with you. Los Alamitos.
Yes.
Okay, the second domino was Santa Ana. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, be the third domino.
Yeah! All right.
Patrice Lynn, followed by Eddie Baker.
All right, Eddie. Eddie. All right.
Good evening, Council. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. In my lifetime, California has gone from the Golden State into the state of lawlessness. Sanctuary State Bill SB 54 advocates lawlessness and dangers our public safety. In fact, SB 54 has made California into a national security threat. Los Alamitos is from SB 54. And this afternoon, the Orange County Board of Supervisors filed their own amicus brief, as well as passing a resolution opposing SB 54. Of course, I would love my favorite quote, evil triumphs when good men do nothing.
Right.
Yes, right.
Make California great again.
Yeah. Good men are doing something now. Now.
Eddie Baker, followed.
Thing to do.
Exactly.
That is, if you actually care about the citizens of this great nation. Like Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown does not make decisions based on what's best for the citizens of this great nation. His decisions destroy cities, towns, and neighborhoods throughout California. San Francisco was once a beautiful city. It's now a shithole.
Yep.
Los Angeles was once a beautiful city, and now it's almost as bad. You should otherwise you would have never taken up this issue. The easy thing to do would be encourage to a domestic terrorist like Jerry Brown. Well, I don't see mice sitting before me here today.
That's right.
I see a courageous council. Leaders who are willing to stand up for the American people and defend the Constitution of this great nation against terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Like Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
Exactly. On a side note, I'd like to add, no liberals were physically harmed during the
That could change. Yeah. All right.
Day, followed by Paul Jansen.
Yes, I'm here as a representative of the concerned citizens of California, thousands of which live in Orange County, and we collectively ask you to vote yes to support today's resolution that condemns California state laws that restrict law enforcement and endanger public safety. We're also here asking you to please direct council to move forward and take legal action as you discussed today in the form of the amicus brief, the DOJ's recent lawsuit against the State of California and Attorney General Becerra regarding Sacramento's approval of sanctuary states and cities, which are clear violations of both federal laws and the U.S. Constitution. Now, for the media and the others here today, let me remind you that aiding and abetting illegal aliens is a felony under the Federal Immigration and Nationality Act, 8 U.S.C. 1324, and further, that Section 274 of the INA also lists felonies pertinent to illegals. And to correct terminology, it is not immigrants when dealing with those who have entered illegally, overstayed their visas, or re-entered illegally, but rather illegal aliens is defined in numerous U.S. codified laws. The correct use of immigrant is one who has gone through or who is in the process of trying to legally become a U.S. citizen, and everything else is rubbish. Regarding the folks up in Sacramento who start passing laws to try to preempt federal law, in the Constitution, those things that are enumerated in the Constitution for federal law, that takes precedence over everything else, and everything else that is not enumerated falls to the states. Immigration and all that entails is under federal purview. And for California and Jerry Brown and Becerra to start trying to reconfigure things and cherry pick laws, I'm going to add to what the other young lady said about suggestions. What they're doing in cherry picking and overlooking federal law is like saying, well, the 10 Commandments are actually the 10 suggestions. Okay? Anyway, thank you for writing the resolution. We appreciate your support in following the Constitution. And no sanctuary state or cities. Please vote yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Hello, my name is Paul B. Jansen. I am a Laguna Hills resident, 18 years. I've been living in Orange County probably 30. I would like to say, first of all, thank you for following Los Alamitos' lead. I think that took a lot of courage, and I applaud you. I really cannot say thank you enough for that. Somebody mentioned Abraham Lincoln's speech at the Gettysburg Address. We are a nation with a government of the people, by the people, and
for the people.
And Jerry Brown is not adhering to any of those qualities at all.
Nope.
I have nothing personally. I have nothing against immigrants. My grandparents came over here from Slovakia prior to World War I. My dad, an Air Force pilot, married my mom, an English citizen, brought her over here. After my father's plane was shot down in Vietnam, after he died, and we came back to America, my mother applied for citizenship. She didn't have to, but she applied for citizenship. And the federal government and the Air Force gave us less benefits than what these illegals are receiving. That's right. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
Yes.
Now I'm going to bore you guys with some statistics here. And I'd like to note that it was very hard to find current statistics.
That's right.
The amount of illegals that are committing crimes.
That's right.
So that right there is something kind of fishy.
Yes,
but
it is.
Reports from the GOA out of the National Review. In 2011, GOA conducted a study on criminal aliens incarcerated in state jails and prisons. In the fiscal year 2009, there were 296,000 criminal aliens. Approximately 228,000 were illegal. That's 77%.
Yep.
77%.
Outrageous.
And this was 40%, and there's been a 40%, this was a 40% and 25% increase, respectively, in the criminal alien incarceration in state jails and prisons since the fiscal year 2003. So God only knows what it is now in 2017, 2018.
Right.
Right? And the Department of the DOJ is to reimburse states for 65%, cities 60%, and counties for 80% of correctional salary costs associated with unknown aliens. So the state is still coming out as a negative.
Yep.
And we're carrying that cost. Where else? About 50% of California's primary convictions for illegal aliens are for drugs, assault, and sex offenses. So these are the illegals that are in our prisons. And lastly, not lastly, but in California, and again, this is from the 2009 study, there were 28,000 inmates incarcerated for homicide and related offenses, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, etc. in December of 2009. Now, using the GAO's estimates, there were approximately 2,430 illegal aliens imprisoned in California for homicide and related offenses. That's about 9%. Now, it costs roughly, okay, and I'll finish, it costs roughly $60,000 per year to house an inmate. So that's $145 million. Damn. That could go to the state, that could go to the citizens.
Bridges.
The roads and the dams,
Veterans.
etc. I applaud you and thank you.
Yeah! All right.
Followed by Kathy Schlick.
Hey, Jasmine.
Hi, my name is Jessamine Augustine, and I'm a fairly new resident of Mission Viejo. I came here in June of 2016 from Torrance, which I liked Torrance, but I got to Mission Viejo and everything's so beautiful, and everything's so orderly, and everything follows laws, and
Yes.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to you guys for keeping a beautiful city running really well. Seems to me like SB 54 and the sanctuary concept is anti-law enforcement,
Yep.
anti-order. It's thumbing their nose at all our hardworking first responders who are trying to get people who break laws out of our community. So I'm so grateful you're considering anything we can do to push back against this lawlessness and keeping this beautiful city beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jessamine, good to see you.
Kathy Schlick, followed by Gerald Bolomio.
Bolomio.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm being cantankerous by putting on my sunglasses because I don't understand the authority to ask people to take off their sunglasses unless we're having mug shots taken. Anyways, California is out of control and we need to take a stand against the governor. The United States Constitution outranks Governor Brown.
That's right.
SB 54 and other legislation has taken away local control and is a constitutional overreach. A movement has started, and that movement is here, and that movement is to honor and respect the United States Constitution. All politics are local, and city government is closest to the people.
Yes.
My constitutional rights and all our constitutional rights are paramount and a necessary right to restrain or limit the power of government. Our Constitution, our United States Constitution, is the supreme law of the land, and it gives us the freedom to petition government to right wrongs. The number one priority of local government is public safety, and SB 54 and other laws have made us less safe and less secure by tying the hands of law enforcement. Our police officers are prohibited from cooperating with federal agents, and our business owners will become the criminals
Yes.
if they cooperate with ICE. It is unconscionable that criminal illegal aliens are being released from jail and into our society.
That's right.
The proposed resolution contains language that the city respects the rights of members of the immigrant communities. This is not an immigrant issue. This is not about immigrant communities. This is about the criminal element of illegal aliens who have been given sanctuary, undermining our safety.
Yep.
Please don't punt with the resolution. Bring sanity back to California and stand with us by following Los Alamitos' example and opt out of SB 54.
Yes.
And also, just to let you know, the Orange County Register reported that the Sheriff Hutchins' department will publish a who's in jail online database.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Including the date and time of inmates released.
Yes.
To help cooperate with other law enforcement agencies, including ICE.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Gerald followed by Robin. Good evening. My name is Gerald Valomino. Some of you know me as Jerry. I have to say that when I came here tonight, I was in support of the resolution, but I've had a change of mind. I don't think the resolution goes far enough.
Yep.
I think we need an ordinance.
Yeah.
I don't want a proclamation. I don't want you to send a letter to Los Alamitos telling them how great you think they are. Attaboy, go get 'em.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't want to follow their lead. I want you to take the lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
The leadership that Mission Viejo can assert. How many people in Orange County even know where poor little Los Alamitos is? David versus Goliath. We probably got 4 times the population.
That's
and
right.
the budget. You know, America didn't become great by being timid.
That's right.
And there was one point in our history where we almost blew it for the world. It was in the early 1940s when we sat back and we thought, no, we'll let Europe do it for us. And if the Japanese had not forced our hand, Nazism would have taken over all of Europe and probably eventually challenged America. And who knows what would have happened next. It's our turn and our time to take the lead. And I don't care what it costs. If it costs closing down a park, if it costs charging me a surcharge or billing me for more taxes, I want you guys not to send a message to Governor Brown. I want you guys and Mission Viejo to send a message to the hundreds of other cities in liberal states that are sitting back going, well, let's just wait and see how it goes, and when it's safe, we'll all get on board. I want leadership.
Yes.
So I'm opposed to the resolution.
Mm-hmm.
I want an ordinance.
Yeah.
I want to opt out.
Yes.
And I want to get in front of Los Alamitos and
Yeah.
bring the attention to Mission Viejo that we're going to lead the charge and Trump can back us up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Robin, followed by Raul.
My name is Robin Biston, and I represent the Remembrance Project and We the People Rising. And I would just like to point out, more than 4.5 million Californians voted for Trump. And we, millions of Californians, have been waiting for someone to stand up in this state.
That's right.
We were rejoicing when the Attorney General visited Sacramento and said he was launching the lawsuit.
Yep.
Now, with the local government stepping forward, we are ecstatic. This is setting a wonderful example, and I would like to point out, SB 54 specifically protects criminal aliens that are in custody. What ICE is requesting when an illegal finishes their time, they've been convicted, contact them so they can take them into custody. This bill stops that procedure. So we thank you very much for taking this step in the name of public safety, because that's what this is about, public safety. And I would just like to add, we attended the supervisors meeting this morning, and Supervisor Spitzer said the reason he was supporting their resolution is in the name of protecting law enforcement. He talked about how dangerous it is for our officers to go into community
law enforcement
gangs.
utter danger.
He said pulling over someone in a vehicle is a terrifying experience. So he voted in order to protect law enforcement. And I would just like to add, he talked about, for example, the officer in Pomona that was just killed. not by someone here illegally. But we had the 2 sheriffs in Sacramento County a couple of years ago, both killed by a man in our country illegally. So we are here to thank you. We Trump voters have been living in the shadows.
Yes.
We're the ones without a voice.
No more.
And now
That's
that
right.
our local
I don't want to be an
elected
undocumented
officials
Trump
are
supporter.
standing up, we believe this is the new revolution, a revolution based upon following
That's right.
the law.
That's right.
We're out and proud. Yeah! No sanctuary state.
Yeah.
Lori Basins is after Pharrell here.
I want to thank you for bringing up this resolution. I support you 100%. You know, we live in a wonderful country. I love this country. I was born here. And my father served in the Army. My son served in the Air Force. I served in the Army. And we fought for the rights so that everybody in this country could have the same rights that I have as freedom of speech. Be able to come up here and share my 3 minutes and say what I want to say. We were in Santa Ana this morning, and it was quite a long day. They also passed a resolution to go along with Los Alamitos, and we had a great victory there. And hopefully, you 5 will vote the same way so that we can continue going from city to city in California, and eventually every city in California is going to be against sanctuary cities and sanctuary state and SB 54.
That's right.
We have a constitution, and that constitution doesn't protect illegals. It only protects American citizens.
That's right.
Yep.
So let's remember that those that are here in this country illegally do not have the rights that we have as American citizens. So in saying that, I am fed up with what's going on in Sacramento. There's so many politicians who would rather allow illegals in this country just so they can get that vote.
Yep.
That's all they're after.
Exactly.
By having these illegals in this country, they want more votes so they can stay in power.
Shameful.
What we have to do is get them out of power.
Yes.
We the people have the power of the vote. We can vote them out and we can vote them in. We just have to make sure that those that are voting with their conscience and not their head buried in the sand. So, one reason why I decided to become a candidate for Secretary of State is because I was fed up with Sacramento and the things they're doing. And the only way to get them out of office is to run against them.
Yeah.
Get them out.
Or lock them up.
Lock them out.
Get them out of office so that we, the people, can take over and do what we have to do and serve the American people and not illegals and those lawbreakers. So it's important that people do the right thing, vote your conscience, and vote for those that you think are going to represent the American people only. There's there was another thing that I was going to bring up according to my notes.
Your time's up, sir.
My time's up. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Lori, followed by Martin. Goes back.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, staff, city council members. Thank you for giving me this time. And I'm basically here to say I support the resolution supporting the city of Los Alamitos and rejecting the California sanctuary state law. Indeed, I support Attorney General Jeff Sessions' lawsuit against the state of California. And just to let you know, I am a California native. I was born here. And I am against SB 54. It is illegal. I do support law enforcement personnel and they're being allowed to do their job protecting American lives. I just want to point out too, I am fed up with the opposition continually hijacking and using the term immigrant.
Yep.
Let me tell you my story. I'm the daughter of immigrants. Immigrants follow a process so that they have to be qualified to come here. Basically, that's what it is. My dad did that. When he went back to marry my mom, he had to leave my mom behind and start that process. She had to go through it, and I think it took her like almost a year. So I know, I grew up around immigrants, so nothing against immigrants. This is about illegal aliens.
Yep.
And so please understand, when you hear the other side misusing and misleading the term immigrant, that's wrong.
Yeah.
We're talking about illegal aliens.
Yes.
Right? My parents never were under fear because from law enforcement. Never, ever, ever, ever. Even the people they associated with never were living in fear of the state or anything like that. I just want you to know, just please, there's a major difference. This is about breaking the law. And I love my state, I love my country, and I appreciate that you support the city of Los Alamitos, and I agree with the previous speaker, we need an ordinance. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Go, Lori.
Martin, followed by Dora Young.
Good evening. My name is Martin Kazmarek, and I am actually a resident of Mission Viejo. I actually think I voted for most of you. I live on Via Santiago. Like I said, I've been here a long time. My wife and I, we are in the process of raising 6 children in this lovely community.
Wow.
I've spent more time on soccer fields in this place than God knows what. I have more Mission Viejo classic t-shirts that are going to take me more than a lifetime to wear out. But I can tell you that our community fully supports the turn back of the unconstitutional sanctuary city.
That's right. Yeah!
Not only does it put our California citizens at risk, but our law enforcement and our federal ICE agents. We need to make California golden again.
Yes.
Right.
Make California great again.
We need to get California back to the beautiful, desirable state it once was. Instead of unsafe embarrassment, it has now become, please proceed in standing with the Los Alamitos and allowing our beautiful city of Mission Viejo to not be a safe haven for illegal criminals. And I use the term criminal
Yes.
because if you're here illegally,
You're a criminal.
You're breaking the law.
Yep. That's right.
But the city that puts safety over its citizens first. So thank you for listening to us. Appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, Coach.
Dora Young, followed by our final speaker will be Andrea Rangel.
Good evening. My name is Dora Young, native California. Excuse me. Now that Governor Brown has made California a sanctuary state, what about a sanctuary for American citizens?
Yeah.
When are we going to start following the laws of the federal government and start protecting American citizens? The lawless De Leon, Becerras, and Browns in government power are destroying our constitutional rights as citizens by dismissing federal law. California does not belong to illegal aliens.
Yes.
The United States is responsible for the health and welfare of American citizens.
Yes.
Not illegal aliens. If we're spending $23 billion on illegal aliens per year,
Build
why
the
not
wall.
use that money to build the wall?
Yes. That's right. Big, beautiful wall.
We are not here to support failed nations, be it Mexico, Cuba, or whatever country. We want enforcement of federal law over state law. We want those that are running California into the ground to stop making up laws to suit their own agendas. The best way to overthrow a country is illegal immigration.
Yes.
Illegal immigration.
Yes. Right.
I'm looking forward to your support of federal law over state law. This is an invasion, people. Let's take back California.
Yeah! No more stolen land. Take it back.
Andrea, Ragnar, and we do have two more, Tim Fan and Steve Steer.
Good evening. My name is Andrea. I live here in Mission Viejo, right down the street. I've lived here for 10 years. I raised my children here with my husband. We are homeowners. I came here tonight because I wanted to hear what my neighbors had to say about this ordinance. And what I've heard mostly is people from other cities giving us their opinions.
No.
I am from Mission Viejo, and I offer you my opinion as a resident. I heard another Mission Viejo resident say that this community fully supports your ordinance. I'm here to tell you that's not true. I don't fully support your ordinance. I know a lot of people who live in the city that do not fully support your ordinance.
Tough.
If I'm understanding it correctly, you all would like to send a letter to the governor saying that they're being unconstitutional in the SB 540, is that correct? 54. 54, that's the to me, this kind of reeks of political partisanship. It reeks of political posturing.
No, it doesn't.
I'm curious to know how many illegal immigrant crimes are perpetrated in this city.
Too many.
Before you start sending letters and possibly
One crime is too many.
ordinances and
One crime is too many.
money, my taxpayer money, on litigation for things that might not be a problem within our city. On top of that, I'm hearing a lot of stories tonight about immigrant stories, proud immigrant stories. I am the daughter of an undocumented immigrant.
Ooh.
Shame. Shame. He's the monster under all of your beds.
Yep.
You know what? He had the audacity to pay his taxes, get a job, to raise two good daughters who went to college, make a good living, and afford to live here in beautiful Mission Viejo because he worked so hard.
Illegal is illegal.
So
It
I'm hearing
doesn't
a lot of
matter.
stories about criminals, and
Illegal
I
is
promise you,
illegal.
my father would be the first one to say, get rid of
No,
all the
you're,
criminals.
that was a criminal.
Be quiet, dude. However, there's a lot of good stories too. I heard another resident here say, or another person who was speaking say that it's hard to find good statistics. That's actually not true. The Cato Institute released statistics last year.
Cato's a
that
liar.
found that undocumented immigrants are half as
Cato
likely
is a fraudulent
to perpetrate crimes.
libertarian, liberal loony think tank. Nope. Lie.
Okay, again, you can ask Sandra Hutchins. I mean, she's the one, she said the exact same thing.
No.
Sandra Hutchins, I love her. She is all for this ordinance, or this SB 54. And I understand it, that our law enforcement should have the ability to incarcerate and to call in ICE and when a violent criminal who's undocumented is being
Illegal.
held. I completely support that. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening. A lot of undocumented people that are here are being deported who
They
didn't
should be.
commit any crimes.
Yes, they did.
I am not.
They did.
Yes, they did commit a crime.
Better speak.
Yeah, let me speak. I let all of you guys speak.
Finish up, please.
And the last thing I just want to say is that for a city council that is so concerned with the Constitution, I find it very curious that you have In God We Trust behind you. That is in direct violation.
No, it isn't.
of the
Oh! No, it is not.
Look at that. That's insanity. That says Congress shall make no law restricting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise.
Triggered.
Come on.
I'm definitely not triggered, but I care about the
Time's up.
Atheist. Anti-American. God bless America. Shame on your dad and your mom.
By Steve Steer.
I love Jesus.
He loves me more.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hi, thank you today to the City Council of Mission Viejo and everyone in the crowd who came out to express their opinions. My name is Tim, and I represent the Orange County Young Democrats. And I realize that I'm not a member of the
You gotta talk to him. Get him on board. He needs help.
I want to start with a quote from regarding, in a democratic society, law is a form in which free men give to justice. The glory of justice and the majesty of law are created not just by the Constitution, not by the courts, nor by the officers of the law, nor by the lawyers, by the men and women who constitute the society. who are protectors of the law as they are themselves protected by the law. And this quote by Robert Kennedy, I interpret to mean that people like you and people like me and people in this crowd, we determine the type of laws and we determine the type of values that we put into these laws. So when I hear about law and order, and I hear about public safety, I understand. And I want to re-emphasize, we here in this room collectively come to a political consensus on what type of laws and values we ascribe to. So some of the things I've heard in this room today about sanctuary are quite misinformed. It is not like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, where Quasimodo can just run into the cathedral and he is protected because it is a sanctuary. Now that is not what California is at all. It just limits the type of cooperation in which local enforcement can engage with federal authorities. For example, if local police departments of Mission Viejo or Los Alamitos were to engage with ICE, does that require additional training for these officers? Is that additional financial resources by these city governments to allocate for these trainings? So the sanctuary law that SB 54 passes just limits our cooperation with those type of laws. I also want to go into and recognize some of the stories of people in this room who expressed hurt for losing jobs, their students not getting the student loans, tuition, some of the pain that suffered at crimes that have been done to them, and I hear that. And I would just like to say that, I feel like there's a lot of division in this country. People are trying to put immigrants against non-immigrants, citizens versus immigrants, black versus white, Asian versus whatever. I think we're here trying to decide and argue about who gets a slice of the pie, and I don't think the pie is big enough. I think there's Orange County in California. There's opportunity here for all of us to share and prosper. And these false divisions between us only perpetuate in hate, and violence, and misunderstanding. And I believe we need to do better than that. As a Democrat, I do not see you all as Republicans or even the people behind me as people who are against it. I want to see that there's common ground that we can progress towards. And I'd like to close with a short statement with
Steve Sierra.
Brainwash. Americans first.
Brainwash the needle? Steve Sierra, Mission Viejo. I agree with what Los Alamitos is trying to do. I just don't like the way they're doing it. I do not support Mission Viejo's proposed resolution and support the Los Alamitos ordinance in its present form because I do not like the Los Alamitos ordinance in its present form. The problem with the Los Alamitos ordinance is that it exempts Los Alamitos from all of Chapter 17.25 of SB 54. That is, it exempts Los Alamitos from both the provisions of Chapter 17.25 that are likely invalid because they are likely in conflict with federal law, and the provisions that are probably valid because they probably do not conflict with federal law. Yes, Los Alamitos is right to protect the public from removable foreign criminals by exempting itself from the invalid portions of Chapter 17.25, those portions that are invalid under the United States Constitution's Supremacy Clause because they conflict with federal immigration law. But Los Alamitos should not be exempting itself from the valid parts of the state law, those parts that do not conflict with federal law. Exempting oneself from valid law is itself lawless. We should assume that some of Chapter 17.25 is valid because the U.S. Department of Justice lawsuit is not challenging some of it. In fact, it may not be challenging most of it. Judging from what the DOJ lawsuit is attacking and California law, Los Alamitos is attacking the state law much too broadly. Yes, passing a resolution is just offering an opinion, but our opinion should be fully consistent with our principles. Our principles include the idea that the public and the government have a strict moral obligation to obey the laws, except in extreme circumstances, such as where it is the government that is acting lawlessly. There must be no unprincipled picking and choosing of which laws to obey or not obey, and which laws to enforce or not enforce. This council made these points in the Mission Viejo Rule of Law resolution that passed unanimously in 2012. You and others affirmed the rule of law and America's other founding principles when the federal government was ignoring them. Well, now we have a president who has vowed to restore the rule of law. Hold firm to those principles. Do not retreat. Do not risk undermining them for small or even large policy gains. We should withhold support of the ordinance even though we recognize that Los Alamitos has no intention of doing anything unlawful in adopting its ordinance. I think you should table this resolution for now and try to get the Los Alamitos council members to clean up their law, which you can do by narrowing their challenge to the law to the U.S. Department of Justice's challenging of the law. Or amend your resolution. Or ask your city attorney if we can do an opt-out ordinance, as Jerry said. In short, I do not think Mission Viejo should support the Los Alamitos ordinance because I do not think Mission Viejo should support any promotion of lawlessness or any engagement in lawlessness.
SB 54 is illegal.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the public comment section of agenda item number 18. So I'd like to go to discussion amongst the council members. First, I'd like to recognize Council Member Angie Buchanan.
Thank you. I thank everybody who came out to speak. All opinions. It's very helpful to us to hear the opinions of our citizens and our neighbors. So thank you for doing that. And that is a very common occurrence, it seems, this year in Mayor. We have people from surrounding cities sharing thoughts and opinions. So we welcome everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First, what I'd like to just remind the residents here, I know my fellow council members do know this, and that is 2 weeks ago at our last council meeting, we did take the lead on participating in the amicus brief for the sanctuary state situation, and with the Attorney General, who did come in and speak to that. And one of the main reasons that we feel strongly about this is because funding, following the Constitution and getting funding that comes from the federal government, which are your tax dollars that we would like to bring back to your local community, we would like to see that continue. So having a conflict in whether we're a city and we're in conflict with our state, or whether we're a state and we're in conflict with the federal government, can impact funding and your tax dollars not coming back to your state. So that was one of the reasons, and of course then also is the principle of the Constitution of the United States taking precedence, as many have mentioned. Second, what I'd like to remind everyone is that we did take a position on April 25th, 2017, opposing SB 54. That was a leadership position.
Yeah!
So I just, and part of the reason we did that is because public safety being our #1 priority, we want our police officers and our police officers that serve our jail, when there's a criminal that is being released, they should be able to, that is an illegal alien.
Yes.
That has committed a crime and was incarcerated, they should have to leave the country.
That's yeah! That's right! Yeah!
And that is the context because under which we did that. Because public safety in our cities is important. We have, I won't put our chief on the spot right now, but he will be giving a report, and we have challenges with gang activity in our city.
Wow.
Some of which are participating that are not legal in this country. So, I think it's really important for everybody to know we are taking a leadership position on this, and I thank Steve also for your opinion on the resolution and the challenges that Los Alamitos and potentially some details there. I'll have our city attorney give us some direction on that when he has a moment. And but in context, what Los Alamitos did and the spirit in which they did it, I would support it. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
Down with the white supremacists. Down with the illegals. Down with the illegals.
Thank you, Mayor. In 1972, I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Domestic.
Became a U.S. Marine.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
I served 4 combat tours protecting our nation against foreign enemies, and now at this council, I think, and I believe to support this great city against any domestic terrorists and criminals. So I am supporting this resolution.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's quite fortuitous tonight that Disneyland people were here, because I use this analogy quite often to some of the younger kids in my family, is that a couple works hard to support their children. They pay their taxes and make some good money. And they go to Disneyland, pay for parking, and they go into the park, paying plus $100 per ticket, and they get to enjoy the entitlements of all the rides.
Mm-hmm.
But what about someone who jumps the fence?
Yep.
Exactly. That's right.
That's right.
Did they enjoy the entitlements of all the rides?
What about some of the trespassers here?
Excuse me.
Hey, you know, this is.
I have you removed from.
Thank you.
Please deport him. Afuera.
So it's a quite simple analogy that if you work hard to pay your taxes and you're a citizen, you enjoy the entitlements of this great country. And there's ways you can come into the country and pay your taxes and enjoy the entitlements. But jumping the fence and is not the way to do it. So again, I will support this resolution, and I admire our mayor for bringing it up and putting it on the agenda. So thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
European.
He's got to go.
Councilmember Kelly.
Don't cry.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to really thank everyone for coming out as well and expressing their viewpoint on both sides of the issue. But it was especially heartwarming for me to hear person after person get up and say that they love America.
Yes, that's right.
They are here as Americans supporting America.
Yes.
Yes.
We don't always hear that nowadays. Well, in this chamber, we hear a lot of that, but out in the world right now, it's very difficult to hear that. So I'm just thank you all for that.
Can I borrow it really quick?
As Councilmember Buxton stated, this council did take a position in April
I'm running out.
of opposition to SB 54. You know, it was April. In opposition to SB 54, and at that, we took our position before this bill was passed by your state senators and your state assembly members. First, it was passed in the state senate, then it was passed in the state assembly, and then it was signed into law by our Governor Brown.
Yeah.
We took a position before these votes were passed, and by the way, our local senator, state senator, and our local, that our sheriff opposed this measure, SB 54, as did sheriffs up and down the state.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
I want to
get back to you.
just wave around this amicus brief that we have before us tonight. We have a two-part issue tonight. One is to agree to join in the amicus brief.
I'm giving you back all your stuff.
The plaintiff and the defendant. The United States of America, plaintiff versus State of California, defendant.
Terrible.
Terrible not.
Okay.
Remove him! There's one. Remove him, please! You know, I always tell my kids.
He's quiet.
I always tell my kids and my grandkids, if someone's saying something that you don't like, the best thing to do is just ignore them.
Yep.
One sentence that I just highlighted in this amicus brief really sums it all up. Under the Supremacy Clause, federal law preempts state law.
That's right.
Trumps.
Whenever they
Ah.
conflict.
Triggered.
So again, I have in mind protecting law enforcement, protecting our citizens, and I would like to, I've moved that we adopt the resolution before us in support of Los Alamitos, and that we join in the amicus brief with our federal government. And that is my motion.
That's right.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
A couple of additional things to say. The bottom line is that we need to change things by using the power to vote.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Vote
to comment us
at the
out.
ballot box. And we have to remember it was the state senate and the state assembly members who passed this, and our governor that signed it. And again, it was not our local representatives, Assemblyman Rowe and Senator Bates opposed this. So we have we can make speeches and we can pass resolutions, but we really need people to get out, to vote, to bring change, and change needs to occur without vote.
That's right.
Yes.
I know we're outnumbered. We are.
Illegal vote. Yes, that's right. Illegal vote. Becoming the minority.
Call for order, please. Thank you. Councilmember Goodell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, I want to say I wholeheartedly agree with what my colleagues on the dais have said so far.
Microphone.
Sorry, I pushed it. Come on. I agree with what my colleagues have had to say. I'm going to approach this a little bit from my own experience and position a little bit. First off, with San Francisco, when they declared themselves a sanctuary city years ago, I was appalled and very disappointed and saddened by what has become of that city in a big way because of the lawlessness that does exist there that they have encouraged for so long, and now they've spread that to Sacramento and to our legislators and our governor. I really feel that as an American and having pledged an oath to office to the Constitution of the United States and the state of California, that it is anathema to me to support anything on a sanctuary city or sanctuary state level. I want to repeat what the mayor said earlier, is that as
Microphone.
I was moving my notepad up and I ran over the button, I guess. Our status as a general law city, we can't really create an ordinance, so we need to, demanded an ordinance here, but that's not something we can do in violation of state law. But we can support the federal government by supporting the amicus brief, which I'm willing to do, and also I thank Mr. Steve Serra for his comments about some of the provisions of the Los Al ordinance, because they are a charter city and are able to do that. But in my view, we're supporting the spirit with which they're approaching this situation in SB 54 in our state, and I'm willing to support that. So I support the motion that we have before us.
Yeah! Yeah! All right!
Viva Pancho Villa!
And that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
All right.
I just want to remind the gentleman who thinks that he's able to shout out and disagree that I've had the opportunity to travel around the world to many, many countries, and this, sir, is the only country I know that you're allowed to act like a buffoon.
Ouch!
The next thing I'd like to do is to read to you one section of the amicus brief, and that is, upon the principle of self-defense, a paramount necessity, a community has the right to protect itself.
Yes.
That's right. Jacobson v. Massachusetts, and that's Plymouth v. Wheeler. The best allocation of municipal law enforcement resources is not set in either Washington or Sacramento,
Yes.
but is in each amici community. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask for your vote on this resolution signify your vote with the voting controls and lock in your vote.
Unanimous. Unanimous.
All right! Taking it back! Make California great again! All right! Thank you, City Council!
God bless Mission Viejo!
God bless Mission Viejo! Yeah! Thank you so much!
Real patriots!
Thank you, ma'am.
Your wife was so nice.
Thank you so much.
I remember voting for you 2 times in Congress. Thank you. And we were at the candidate forums. This is my second time.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Stand beside her and guide her with the light from above, from the mountains to the valleys, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God, America, my home, sweet home. USA, 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 USA. This is what victory looks like. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Beautiful speech. Thank you. Love it. Thank you.
Good job, Arthur.
Every time he shows up, there have to be 3 sheriff's deputies. Do you see this? Every time he's here, they have to bring the police. He's always violent. He harasses children.
All the problems.
He's always causing all the problems. Great speech, man. Lewis, I'm so glad you made it. I know it's tough, but I'm glad you did it. Ed, thanks for making it, man. Oh, man. Yeah! Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, we get these illegals out of here, it'll be 1 hour. You watch. Beautiful, Nikki. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was really.
That was excellent, all across the board.
Another victory.
And this is your city. Yes.
My new city.
Domino is falling down.
Huntington
That's
Beach.
right.
Huntington Beach is
Aliso
next.
Viejo.
Aliso Viejo is next.
Yes.
How you doing? Excuse me. Thanks again for. Hey, you made it. Good to see you.
I live like 5
You
minutes away.
you live like right in the backyard.
I'm a Mission Viejo resident.
There you go. Dean, you made it. Glad you're here, man. I know you got to take care of family.
Thank you for making it. Thank you for making it.
Roger Hernandez. Robert Hernandez.
Undocumented guests, you know, bank robber, you know, undocumented withdrawal.
There you go. Exactly. Chanel wants to pass a law so after she robs the bank, then she can be, acquitted after doing it. Because that's basically what California did with the illegals.
You know what? You don't like the law? Let's just change the plan.
We'll just change the law after we commit the crime, right?
I don't see it.
That's what you should do. Right.
Put my shades.
There you go. Get your shades on because we don't want your family to know that you're a white supremacist. Because you're the blackest white supremacist I have ever seen.
Oh, now I can talk.
Glad you made it. Yeah! Oh my God.
We did it. We did it.
This is beautiful.
Oh.
This is history here. We need to get this outside of this county. We need to start getting other counties and other cities to get out. Yeah.
On Tuesday night, I believe it's Tuesday night, April 3rd, Murrieta will be discussing this issue.
There you go. That's Lewis's community.
Yeah, well, he lives in Menifee, but yeah.
Okay, close by. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Thanks for coming out all the way. Wow. We need to get Temecula. This is beautiful. We got to get Temecula on board. Okay. All right.
I never thought it would.
We did it, guys. We did it. Mission Viejo, the next domino. Robin, let's get a photo right here. Photo, mandatory photo. Mandatory photo. Mandatory photo. Everybody, let's gather in front.
Photo.
Mandatory photo.
Patriot photo.
Let's go.
All patriots. I've seen her. All patriots.
You know, the other day when we were at Chicano Park,
all patriots, front and center, photo time.
Mandatory photo. Quick, let's hurry before they come back. They're going to tell us to clear out. No, right here. Let's go.
You want to face this way?
We should be like closer here. Gather around. Mandatory photo. Yeah, quick. We got to hurry before they come back in session. Mandatory photo, everybody. Let's move. Real quick. Let me get way behind everybody.
Okay, yeah, you're taller.
Trump, 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 Trump. Yeah!
Trump.
Check it out, folks. This is what it looks like. Yeah! This is what California looks like. The no longer silent majority because the sheep are no longer asleep.
And we have woke up, and there's not going to be two sets of laws.
That's it. One rule of law. Because we're not going to have a set of laws for them and a set of laws for us. There you go.
No, we shut it down.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Okay. So
please make your way to the lobby so we can continue the.
Oh, absolutely. We understand. They gotta get. The heifer's got to go.
5-0.
Yeah, totally unanimous. 5-0.
Okay.
Totally unanimous. Folks, they did it. Oh, this is great. We got 194 to go.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely.
God bless you. Thank you for everything.
What's your name?
Lisa Collins.
Lisa Collins. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, Valentine. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much. What is it? I will be there next Monday. You bet. Please come. Let us know when Temecula does something, okay? Give us an advance, okay? You got to step on Temecula. That's where you live, right?
Yeah.
Step on them. We got to move. Let's get this out of the Orange County because they're going to try to just contain it.
Well, you got your name.
Thank you, Lori. We'll get something going in Ontario next. Oh, I'm sorry, Patrice.
All right, we got to start.
Okay, everybody, they gotta do the next part of their meeting. Okay. I gave you everything. I just have your other battery. So can I hold on to it?
Yeah.
My phone is. I can't believe it. It just is like. I just burned through so much today. Unbelievable. Hey, good to see you, man. Well, that's okay. It has wheels. You don't have to carry it. If you could just help me zip it up, I can't. It's all set. You're excellent. And this is how it...
They're also wanting to opt out of state censorship.
All right, everybody, let's migrate out really quick. Just roll it. Just roll it. Just roll it. It's easier. Just roll it.
My cousin was murdered by an illegal. Remember that?
Yep. Terrible.
My grandson was too.
Yes. Too many people harmed by illegals. Murdered, raped, abused, stolen. And now the county took another step. That's huge. Yes.
That there's a question on the next census about citizenship.
That's it. There you go. Because that's the
population only counts if they're citizens.
A little tear in Noe's eye.
but he doesn't have a soul, does he?
He was trying to hold it back, but I saw it.
You mean the buffoon?
The buffoon.
He's on record.
Yeah, he's a buffoon.
We gotta call him the buffoon.
From now on, he is the buffoon.
You need a new shirt.
I need a new shirt. Oh, you know, I almost brought the other shirt. I almost brought it. But I really wanted to focus on Marcello, so I didn't bring the other one. Look at it. We did it. We freaking did it. Oh my gosh. This is huge. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the winning, it never ends.
Right here in California.
And right here in California.
Out of all places.
We're supposed to be a lost cause, right?
We're the
Are we
joke
tired of winning
of the 50 states.
It's number 3. Are we tired of winning it?
No, we're just getting started. Remember, next week we've got Huntington Beach, Aliso Viejo, and I don't know if, I think maybe Tustin's doing something, I don't know.
Laguna Niguel's on April 3rd.
They're actually going to discuss this too? April.
I don't think it's on their agenda though.
Well, okay, we've got a couple days if we can talk to them to get it on their agenda.
I think we're in West Covina that same day though.
I don't think we're doing anything in West Covina, okay? No. There's nothing happening there, so forget about that. So, yeah. Yeah, but there's something that might be happening in Temecula or Menifee too.
Drive safe.
Okay, folks. It's getting dark, but the light is shining in California again. Oh. Yeah!
All right.
That's it. Everybody, we in California have only begun to fight. Stay tuned, folks.
Woohoo!